Barlow lenses can be incredibly useful or an absolute waste of money. Today, I'm going to bring clarity to this misunderstood piece of astronomy equipment. The first thing you'll notice about a Barlow lens is that it's usually stamped with a number followed by an X. And what that indicates is how many times that will multiply the focal length of the eyepiece that you insert into it. They work by taking a standard eyepiece, this is 1.25 inches, and you insert it into the Barlow lens, which then goes into your focuser. This is a 20mm eyepiece, and this is a 2X Barlow. Pairing these together effectively gives you a 10mm eyepiece. It doubles the magnification. You'll most often see these paired with inexpensive telescopes that come with a couple cheap eyepieces or in a eyepiece case that's set up for beginners. The problem you most often experience with Barlows like these is when you insert short focal length eyepieces into them and increase their magnification. For example, putting an 8mm eyepiece into this 2X Barlow would effectively make that work as a 4mm eyepiece. Generally speaking, in most cases, 4mm eyepieces are going to be way too much magnification for your atmospheric conditions or for your telescope. And that will put people off or turn them off because the image will break down and you don't get what you're thinking you're going to get. You usually, instead of seeing a nice crisp magnified image like you're expecting, you get a fuzzy furry blob that doesn't quite represent what you're thinking it is. Eye relief is the distance between your eye and the surface of the eyepiece where the image is produced. Generally speaking, the shorter the focal length of the eyepiece, the less eye relief you have. This is a 20mm Plössl, and this is an 11mm Plössl. And if you look at the eye lens on these, number one, you can see the eye lens here on the 11mm is much smaller than the 20mm. But also the eye relief of this 11mm is going to be much less than this 20mm. An interesting trait about Barlow lenses, they increase the eye relief of the eyepiece when you're using it. Let's make up and say that this has 7mm eye relief. When I go ahead and put it into this Barlow, the Barlow will actually slightly increase the eye relief of this eyepiece. So if it was 7mm, I might get to 8 or 8.5mm. Eye relief and comfort are a very important part of observing, even more so if you're someone who wears glasses when you observe, because you will really cherish eye relief when you are being able to observe with your glasses and have the space for that in there. If I were given the choice of using a 10mm eyepiece or a 20mm eyepiece along with a 2X Barlow, I would always pick the Barlow combination because I'm getting much more comfortable eye relief and the same effective magnification. It's a very important tool to have with that regard. But where Barlows really struggle is, for example, this 8mm eyepiece. Now this 8mm is functioning as a 4mm, which in almost every case is going to be too much magnification. It's great for marketing because they could say, achieve 600 times magnification, but it's just not practical in real life at all. Think of Barlows as eye relief extenders versus magnification doublers. These are much more effective at giving you a very usable eye relief rather than magically increasing the size of your eyepiece collection. But tell me, how do you use Barlow lenses? How many do you keep in your eyepiece case? This is Trevor from Night Sky Voyager. Thanks for watching.